Welcome back to the Horror Movie Files. Today's topic will cover the iconic horror classic, as well as another childhood favorite, Gremlins. This video contains images and descriptions of violence, destruction, and tiny but disgusting creatures. If you've seen the movie, you probably already know it's not that bad, but still, if any of that happens to make you uncomfortable, then please feel free to click off the video. For those willing to continue, let's begin with SCP-AEA. SCP-AEA, codename Gizmo the Mogwai. Object Class: Safe. Special Containment Procedures: SCP-AEA Prime has been given housing space within the office of Site Director Nancy James at Site AA. Any Foundation staff that enter her office are not to do so with water in any form. Additionally, precisely after midnight, no one is to bring any form of food into the Site Director's office. Even crumbs are hazardous. SCP-AEA Prime has shown no interest in food after midnight or interacting with water in general, but still, nothing is worth the risk. All SCP-AEA clone and evil instances are only to be created for testing purposes. Afterwards, they are to be destroyed via their weakness of bright lights. Anyone who dares to keep either of these instances alive beyond containment are to be apprehended and either demoted a single level or to D-Class, depending on the severity of the crime. Because SCP-AEA Prime lives in Site Director James' office, there is no need to worry for its safety in the event of a containment breach. Description: SCP-AEA Prime is both the last and the progenitor of the species known as Mogwai. What exactly these creatures are and where they came from are unknown. As for SCP-AEA Prime, it is a small humanoid entity only measuring 8 inches tall, possessing short arms and legs, with stubby fingers and toes. It has a fur color both white and brown, a mostly flat but cute face, and hairless ears. SCP-AEA Prime is typically the only Mogwai in existence, though it's very easy for more to exist, though new Mogwai are not born, but made. When introduced to water, SCP-AEA Prime's body will begin producing new biomass that will extrude through its back. This biomass will take on the form of a tiny and fluffy ball, which will then detach and fly off of Prime's back. After anywhere between 5 to 10 seconds of separating, this ball will grow in mass and form into a brand new SCP-AEA instance, with either minor or major similarities to Prime. Now dubbed SCP-AEA clone instances, personality-wise they can be quite destructive, rude, and goofy compared to SCP-AEA Prime, who is curious, kind, and reserved. However, this is only while they are in their current form, as when they mutate, things get much worse. When an SCP-AEA clone eats food at any time in between 12 AM and 6 AM, it will begin to form into a giant and grotesque egg covered in dark green slime. After anywhere between 6 to 8 hours, the egg will hatch, resulting in the birth of an SCP-AEA evil instance. SCP-AEA evil instances are entirely different creatures that measure 16 inches tall, have no fur, reptilian-like dark green slimy skin, sharp claws and teeth, long arms and legs, large ears, and vicious red eyes. They are extremely hostile and sadistic creatures that enjoy killing, causing destruction, mocking every living being they come across, and being as devious as possible. SCP-AEA evil instances are surprisingly intelligent, being able to handle all sorts of technology, tools, and weapons, even when they had never interacted with them before. Though due to their mischievous nature, it's more often than not they can be reckless and end up hurting or destroying themselves due to their sadistic and chaotic experiments. SCP-AEA evil instances, despite being so destructive and cruel, always work together and never betray one another. This trait has also been seen in SCP-AEA clone instances. However, All SCP-AEA evil instances and almost every clone instance hates Prime with a passion. Even when clone instances initially like SCP-AEA Prime, eventually they will come to hate him. Why this is the case is unknown. SCP-AEA as a whole was discovered in 1984 when the town of was attacked by a sudden swarm of SCP-AEA evil instances. Initially, Mobile Task Force Artemis 6 Wild Hunt was deployed to contain the threat, only to find nothing. The Foundation cleanup crew later discovered a majority of the SCP-AEA instances died in an explosion at the local theater. With the SCP-AEA evil instances presumed dead, MTF Artemis 6 was instead pulled back, and Mobile Task Force Gamma 5 Red Herrings was sent in to give the citizens of the town amnestics and place false information into the media. They helped form the cover story that a terrorist group wearing green monster masks were behind the attacks and chaos and managed to escape without leaving a trace. Meanwhile, Foundation agents were tracking the source of the attack and found SCP-AEA Prime within an abandoned store. It was taken without witnesses and quickly transported to Site AA. However, after being sent to Site AA, a strange old man somehow appeared outside the site, demanding SCP-AEA Prime be returned to his custody. Foundation agents apprehended the man and tried to use medic treatment to get as much information out of him. Unfortunately, he proved to be immune to all attempts and dodged every question with more demands for the custody of SCP-AEA Prime. Before it could be decided what else to do with him, the O5 Council ordered for his death, and it was carried by Mobile Task Force Alpha-1, Red Right Hand. Though many Foundation staff argue this decision was too rash, it has already been done. And regardless, it was the O5 Council's decision, so nothing could be done to prevent it. Currently, SCP-AEA evil and clone instances are used for testing, more specifically combat and containment testing to improve Foundation efficiency against anomalous vermin. Despite the smart and aggressive nature of evil instances, they are surprisingly easy to contain when their weakness and population source is well exploited. It is for this reason they are labeled as Object Class Safe. However, all Foundation staff should bear in mind that like any safe class anomaly, SCP-AEA still poses a significant threat. If a single SCP-AEA instance were to get into the ocean, the result would be an NK-class Grey Goose scenario. As such, SCP-AEA Prime is to stay at Site AA, and no clone or evil instance is to be transported to any other site for any reason. And that was SCP-AEA. Thank you to everyone for watching this video to the end. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, as I'm trying to reach a goal of 200 subscribers, and be sure to click the bell to be notified about the shorts I post every weekday and videos I prepare every week. Also, don't forget to leave a like on the video and comment down below what you thought. All criticism is helpful to creators, so please don't hold back on your opinions. Though if you're only familiar with me on YouTube, please also follow me on Tumblr, as most of my projects are there, including all the latest files, tales, art pieces, and news about SCP horror movie files. Link will be in the description below. But if you're more interested in getting access to content early, please become a member of my Patreon. Just like The Shining Canyon, William Adams, and Cierra Hernandez, you'll get early access to 10 videos, 15 weeks worth of SCP horror movie files content, view Patreon exclusive content, view my art which I post daily, and be able to request what you want to make next. I update my Patreon daily and always announce major updates, so as a patron you'll never miss out. Link is also in the description. Thank you all again for watching, and hope you stick around as there's always more to come.